is Lola Albright. I will be playing the part of Constance Mackenzie until the return of Dorothy Malone.
Tonight starring Lola Albright as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Mia Farrow as Allison Mackenzie, Ryan O'Neill as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Conley as Norman Harrington.
The legal process has grown in sophistication since the days when two subjects brought their dispute before a king. But the elements of a trial remain the same. An accusation, an inquiry, a judgment, and if necessary, a penalty. Today is the second day of Rodney Harrington's trial. The day when the accusation will be made and the inquiry begun.
All rise. Department 2 of the Superior Court of the County of Peyton is now in session. The Honorable Irwin A. Jessup presiding. Be seated.
Are all the members of the jury present?
They are, Your Honor.
I see the defendant is present. Is counsel ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are the people ready?
Ready, Your Honor?
Ladies and gentlemen, you recall that yesterday I advised you of the duties and obligations of jurors. Please keep this in mind throughout the duration of the trial. May I remind you particularly to refrain from discussing these proceedings with anyone. The people have a right to an opening statement. What they say is not considered evidence, but only what they intend to prove. Proceed, Mr. Fowler.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, the state intends to prove that on the night of July 16th of this year, Rodney Harrington, the accused, with premeditation, did willfully and maliciously kill and murder one Joseph Chernak, a resident of Peyton County. We will also attempt to show that this crime was the foreseeable consequence of a long-standing and bitter rivalry between Chernak and the accused's brother. And we will finally make clear that the circumstances under which the crime was committed in no way mitigate or excuse its base and heinous nature.
Does the defense wish to make an opening statement?
Your Honor, we request permission to waive an opening statement until the people's case has been presented.
Granted. You may present your first witness, Mr. Fowler.
Call Dr. Clarence Healy to the stand. Dr. Clarence Healy, please take the stand. When was the last time the Red Sox won a pennant?
46.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you give in this matter, pending between the people and Rodney Harrington, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name, please.
Clarence L. Healy.
Be seated. Dr. Healy, you are the chief medical examiner of Peyton County.
Yes.
Did you perform an autopsy on the body of one Joseph Chernak?
I did.
When and where did you perform the autopsy?
On the night of July 16th of this year at Doctor's Hospital.
Prior to performing the autopsy at Doctor's Hospital, had you seen the body of the deceased anywhere else?
I did, on the landing at the wharf near Kent's boat repair shop at 25 minutes to 8 the same night.
Now, as the result of your examination, Doctor, were you able to determine the cause of death of the deceased?
Yes.
State what the cause of death was as you found it, and also the conditions which led to your conclusion.
The cause of death was excessive bleeding in the medullary area as a direct result of a basal skull fracture, which in turn was the result of a severe blow to the base of the skull.
Now, in your opinion, Doctor, could the death blow have been delivered by a man's fist?
It's conceivable, but in this case, there was a large contusion at the base of the skull, which contraindicates the possibility.
I see. Your Honor, may I have the clerk mark this object, a tempered steel gaffing hook, for identification as People's number 1 at this time?
Mr. Clerk, you may so mark it.
Isn't he jumping the gun? You bet he is. He wants the jury to take a good look at that thing.
Thank you. Now, Doctor, in your opinion, could an object of this size, shape, and general appearance have caused the contusion to which you testified?
It could, but in this specific case...
Without insisting that this object, let the record show that the object to which I'm referring is People's 1. Without insisting that this object was the direct instrument of death, would you tell us, Doctor, whether or not it could have caused the death?
It could.
Stephen, let it go, Rod.
Thank you, Doctor. Your Honor, I will presently produce such witnesses as may be necessary to introduce this object into evidence and to establish its relationship to the death in question.
Oh, hello, darling.
Sweetheart, you ready?
Well, the nurse went to get the bracelet. It was in the purse that Allison was carrying when she was hurt. What happened at court?
Just the preliminaries is all. We've just broken for lunch.
Today, you and I are going to have lunch together.
Mrs. Carson,
Oh, thank you.
if you need anything else, just
Thank
call.
Thank you.
Yeah, here it is.
Connie, do you really think we ought to do this?
I know we should. She has to remember.
Of course I remember it. It has a French inscription on the back. It says, Je veille sur ce que j'aime.
That's right. I watch over those I love.
How did you know? Mother, thank you for bringing me my things. I thought I'd lost this.
Allison, about the bracelet. Don't you remember, dear, Mr. Carson gave it to you?
No, I didn't know. Why?
Try to think, dear, try.
Oh, I know, for my graduation.
That's right.
If I didn't thank you before, thank you.
Well, we have to leave, dear.
Oh, please don't go now. I've just ordered lunch. We can have another tray brought up.
But I promised Elliot I'd have lunch with him today.
I see you've become friends.
Yes. Yes, we have.
I want my lunch now.
Well, that's fine, dear. You just reach for the buzzer there and have the nurse bring it to you. Goodbye, Allison.
Goodbye, Allison.
Caught in the act. Mother said that you should chew each mouthful 20 times, or is it brush your teeth?
That's not cricket, Miss Chernak.
Your eating habits are disastrous. And a doctor a day keeps the apple away. At least have some dessert.
I don't want to seem ungrateful, but is this some kind of a special occasion?
Well, it's not my birthday. It's not a national holiday. It's not my anniversary.
Well, how many syllables? Is it bigger than a breadbasket?
Yes. It is about the size of a large smoke screen. In fact, it is a smoke screen. Because before I asked you what I wanted to ask you, I wanted to make sure that you were in a good mood.
All right.
let's establish my mood as, good.
After you brought me home last night, I didn't know whether to feel rejected or relieved. And I usually know how I feel.
Well, I don't think you should feel rejected. I enjoyed having dinner with you. I enjoyed your company. And I think you know that.
Good.
No. I'll keep this.
Huh? Well, back to work?
I think so.
Mike.
Hmm?
I was thinking,
Well, that's commendable, seeing that's what I pay you to do.
let's make rules.
Rules about what?
About us when we're together.
Well, I don't think we need any rules. We're adults. Let's play it by ear. Take things as they come and other appropriate cliches.
Forget about it. Let's,
Good.
get back to work.
All right. All right. Let's get it out, or we'll never get anything accomplished today.
What are people going to say when they see us together?
What are they going to say? Who cares what they say?
Aren't you afraid that they're going to say that you're taking sides? That you've gone over to the enemy?
Stella, our private lives, after hours, are precisely that, private.
Like once before I told you that I was going to resign. And that was because you didn't trust me. This time, it's because I don't want anything to spoil what's good between us. Mike, should I resign?
Come in. Oh, hello, Connie.
Excuse me. May I speak to you, Mike, just a moment?
Well, sure. You can come with me to the parking lot. I have a house call to make. I'll be back late this afternoon.
Yes, Doctor.
I had to try it, Mike. We were so sure that she'd remember it was Elliot who gave her the bracelet.
Well, that's already done. There's no reason to chastise yourself about it.
The bracelet meant a great deal to her.
Apparently, there was no damage done.
Oh, but there is, Mike, every day, to Elliot. He stands outside that room, constantly shut out. And then he says to me, be patient.
Look, come and sit down. Unfortunately, he's right.
No. No more, Mike. All we're doing is catering to Allison, giving in to her whims.
Well, it's going to be a little time before she comes home. Something's bound to break here.
And what if it doesn't? What happens to my husband when I take Allison home? Do I lock him out of the house to protect her? I'm sorry. I guess I must sound like some sort of a monster. Since she's been out of danger, I seem to be turning against her. But I want my husband, too. I want so many things for Elliot. To be able to talk openly about our baby. To share in all the wonderful moments of the planning and the waiting. He was cheated last time. I won't have him cheated again.
I can understand all that. We just have to be careful with Allison.
Why?
Why? That's quite a switch coming from you.
I know. The last time we talked, I begged you to be gentle with her, but I've come to see things differently. And why can't we just confront her with the facts of her life? Why can't we be direct? Why can't we just tell her, Elliot is your father?
Don't you think I wish I could do that? Don't you think I'd like it to be that way, that simple? Now, tomorrow I'm going to have my first real talk with Allison. I'd like to try and lay it on the line. But I have no idea what it would do to her. I have to ask myself a lot of questions first. What would it do? Would it make her more disturbed or even psychotic? Would it cause her to withdraw or retreat even further? Could it cause this condition to become permanent? I don't think we can risk it, Connie. And none of us can. Excuse me.
Carson, reading your trial coverage. Good reporting.
No, thanks.
Elliot.
All right, Dad.
Well, I'm glad I caught you. Is recess about over?
We'll be in a couple of minutes.
Uh-huh.
What's that?
I want to show you my plans.
What plans?
For the nursery. For the baby.
Do you mean to tell me that you came all the way down here? Oh, no, come on, Dad. What's the real reason you dashed all the way down here? I mean, mad dogs and Englishmen to come out in cold weather like this.
That old quote refers to hot weather, not cold. Oh, what happened at the hospital?
Nothing.
Did she remember the bracelet?
No, she remembered the gift, but not the giver.
I see. Say, what do you think about a jungle gym right here in the corner of the nursery? You know, one of those gymnast things?
You mean for an infant, Dad?
Well, there'll be a pad under it.
Those directly involved in this trial and those witnesses subpoenaed by the court, please step inside.
Anyway, the sandbox goes right here.
Now, Dad, listen, you can't be serious wanting to discuss this here.
I don't want to discuss it. I just want to tell you what we're going to do tonight.
What I'm going to do tonight is climb into my little cubbyhole at the Clarion and write my story for tomorrow's edition.
But I've already got us the 3-ply and enough 2x4s so we can get started on the sandbox.
Now, look, Dad...
I'll expect you at exactly 8 o'clock.
Hello, Doctor. It looks larger today, larger than life.
Yeah, I wish I had some wise words of wisdom for you.
I don't think I'd care to hear any.
You're kind of wound up, aren't you? Come on, get some coffee with me.
I'm late already.
Wait a minute. It's not just the trial with you, is it?
All right. I was wondering why you never offered to take me out for a cup of coffee when I worked for you.
Well, I never thought of it. I'm sorry, that was kind of stupid.
It wasn't stupid, it was honest.
Look, come here. Get in here. Now move over. All right, you had something to say. Now say it. Let me get that thing.
As long as I live, I'll never forget the first time I met you. In your office when I came to see you about my problem. I was terrified and you knew it. But after a few moments, I felt you were the kindest, warmest human being I'd ever met. I felt we were friends.
And are we not still friends?
I don't know. I suppose I'll be seeing you at the Peyton house. You did accept Mr. Peyton's offer to be his attending physician.
Well, I couldn't very well refuse it.
That was very noble.
Look, since you brought up the Peyton house, do you mind if I enter into a little sarcasm of my own? I mean, was it nobility that brought you there?
I had my reasons.
Reasons? Sound ones?
Oh, you're beginning to sound like my mother. You're going to remind me of my past mistakes, too?
No, I'm not going to do that. It's just that I don't want you to go against yourself.
Oh, such a smug Dr. Righteous you are. The last of the fence straddlers. But when you decide to take sides, Doctor, you really go.
What is it? What's the matter with you?
Did you enjoy the evening, Dr. Rossi? Did Stella Sgt like Italian food?
Look.
Stephen and I picked the same restaurant. Congratulations, Doctor.
Betty?
Proceed.
Sergeant Goddard, you testified that on the night of Joe Chernock's death, after you left the wharf, you proceeded to the Chernock home. Is that correct?
Yes.
You further testified you left the Chernock home at approximately 20 minutes to 9, going directly to the Harrington boys' apartment and arriving there at about 5 till 9.
Right.
Was it still light outside?
No.
It was dark.
Yes.
After you parked, did you go directly upstairs?
Yes.
Was the door open or closed when you arrived at the top of the stairs?
No, it was closed.
Did you knock on the door?
Well, I was about to knock when it opened.
You didn't knock.
No.
Did you announce your arrival in any way?
No.
Did you employ your siren on the way to the apartment?
No.
Well, did you or anyone else from your department notify Rodney Harrington that you were coming?
No.
Sergeant Goddard, I noticed you're wearing rubber-soled shoes. Were you wearing the same ones when you went to the apartment?
Yes, I was.
Objection, Your Honor. I fail to see how Sergeant Goddard's taste in wearing apparel is relevant here.
Your Honor, if you please, I'm attempting to show that Sergeant Goddard's unannounced, silent arrival in the dark of night went unnoticed by the defendant.
To what end, Mr. Court?
Well, if the court will bear with me for a minute or two.
Very well, but I caution you to be brief. Objection overruled.
Sergeant Goddard, you stated the door opened when you were about to knock.
Yes.
By whom?
Rodney Harrington.
Did he give an account of why he happened to open the door?
Well, yes, he said he was leaving to go to the police station.
Was he alone?
No, he wasn't.
Will you tell the court the name of the person or persons he was with?
Yes, Miss Betty Anderson.
Anyone else?
His brother, Norman Harrington.
Anyone else?
No.
So you and Rodney Harrington then proceeded directly to the station?
Yes.
Did Mr. Harrington offer any resistance? Was he belligerent?
No.
Then you went to the apartment unannounced. Rodney Harrington opened the door before you knocked and stated that he was just leaving to go to the police station of his own volition.
Yes.
And then went with you without offering resistance.
Yes.
Thank you, Sergeant Goddard. I have no further questions of the witness at this time.
Mr. Fowler?
No further questions, Your Honor.
You may step down, Sergeant Goddard.
Well, that helped. We'll see.
The people call Miss Betty Anderson. Miss Betty Anderson, please take the stand. Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the evidence you shall give in this matter pending between the people and Rodney Harrington shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your full name, please.
Betty Anderson.
You may be seated. Miss Anderson, Sergeant Edward Goddard has testified that on the night of July 16th, when he arrived at the apartment of the accused to question him concerning the death of Joseph Chernock, you were present. Is that correct?
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
We've got some sorting out to do, too, Julie.
I don't know that I'm ready, Les.
You didn't know before either. Until it happened.
I know from experience the only legal defense I have for flattening you is if you hit me first. So come on.
Rod, it's not last year. It's not even yesterday. You've got to get used to that. I have.
Have you?